Today we're going to discuss the most aggressive and strategic killing of a corporation done by one of the most noticeable companies in commerce today, Uber. We will discuss Uber's Operation Slog, SLOG, and HAIL program, and align it to the doctrines of own and control everything, and B.E.L.L, business expense lifestyle living. Did we have a chance to witness the art of war in tech form? And right now, what Uber did was not a scandal. It was a case study in corporate warfare, if you ask me. The execution mirrors Rockefeller oil takeover, Carnegie steel dominance, and modern digital espionage. See, this is what domination looks like in real life amongst corporations. See, first we have to understand the objectives of the operation. See, Uber objectives was not to compete. It was to erasure. The purpose of Operation Slog, or the HAIL program, was to cripple Lyft operation without touching them physically, cause a systemic frustration among their workforce, poach critical labor assets, which were their drivers, collect unauthorized intelligence, which is their locations, their behaviors, their patterns, in the form of hacking. See, this accelerated the destruction of Lyft's reputation. And then they have finally allowed them to dominate the market before the regulators understood that there was even a war going on. This is Sun Tzu for the Web 2 era. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. See, Uber broke Lyft's resistance by destroying their morale, not by lowering their prices. Uber executed this like a black op military intelligence unit, complete with burner phones, fake credit cards, spoofed GPS signals, live engineers running data extraction tools while executing coordinated sabotage teams. And they separately named everybody and protected the executives, approving every step. You see, this is the same structure Rockefeller used. They shadow companies, silent operations, hidden intermediaries, pressure, then offering a way out. Uber's modern version was digital, but the bloodline of the tactic was ancient. The operational philosophy was executed. Uber acted under the white paper black ink action: dominate first, apologize never, settle later, for pennies on a bankrupt entity. You see, in corporate warfare, laws don't stop empires, settlements don't break them, public opinion is irrelevant. Uber weaponized their time, psychology, data, and infrastructure, and then used frustration. They understood the biggest vulnerability in the gig market was what? Their drivers. Lyft built the platform. Uber built the battlefield and started a war they already cheated to win. This was done because Silicon Valley secretly obeys one rule. The first to scale becomes the new government. Uber needed to grow, and they needed to grow faster. They needed to remove competition, lock in market dominance, build independence, force regulators to accept them as too big to remove because of the public dependency. See, this is identical how Rockefeller bought entire railroads before selling oil. He didn't want to sell oil. He wanted to control the transport of it, so no competitor could move oil without his hands in their day-to-day operations. Uber did not want rides. Uber wanted control of the drivers who gave the rides by contracting them with white paper black ink, so no competitor could function. And Uber accomplished this. Market capture, driver loyalty shifted, control, regulatory leniency, competitive destabilization, brand dominance, and a $2.5 billion exit for the CEO even after it was exposed. He had the audacity of confidence to do this and act as its spearhead. In the end, he get to walk away with $2.5 billion in stock shares of a company that will be around for the next 50 years or more. See, God Kasalu's strategy and approach and mindset is simple. Immediately do the damage and let the lawyers clean up the blood. Kalanick left with billions. The company survived. The strategy worked. The truth society refused to admit is don't reinvent the wheel. Put air in the tire. Clone what works, destroy it in the process. This is a war. You're in it. You were never given full disclosure about it when they asked for your participation. You still think companies compete against each other? No. Companies conduct war amongst you as casualties of it. Some of you still fight and live and die by the rules written by the wealthy for the comforts of a room and not the field. Uber didn't defeat Lyft. Uber studied Lyft, infiltrated Lyft, cloned, erased Lyft in their shadow. See, that's the difference between a worker mindset and an empire mindset. Your receipts are weapons. Your vehicles are weapons. Your business filings are weapons. This is B.E.L.L. Business expense lifestyle living. While Uber use burner phones, you can use tax codes. War is the same. It's just the tools are different. Uber didn't own the drivers. Uber controlled the opportunity. That's once. Control the arena, and the fighters bow to you. You are losing because you don't believe the world is fair. Fairness is a fantasy preached to the powerless. Look at Operation Slog. They were competing. They were eliminating. You're living in an era where espionage isn't done with trench coats. It's done with apps, data, and algorithm. Uber built CIA-level surveillance to map every Lyft driver. And you still think you need permission to win? The first step to power is not money, it's information. Rockefeller bought carriage logs. Uber bought driver location data. What data are you inquiring? If you don't learn from this, you'll be a victim of it. The next economic war won't be fought with guns. It'll be fought with patents, platform precisions, and passwords. Some families argue over small bills. Meanwhile, corporations spend $50 million running digital warfare programs and call it innovation. Wake up. Wealth is warfare, and you are unarmed. In the next 5 years, the companies that survive will be those who practice offensive strategy disguised as customer service. Those who got intelligent disguised as convenience. Those who hide in plain sight. If you do not build your family into a machine, an ecosystem, operation, or fortress, you will not survive the next economic war. Rockefeller didn't destroy all companies, nor his competitors. He destroyed their distribution lines. Uber didn't fight Lyft. They disrupted the drivers, the arteries of their system. See, if you want to build an empire, you must identify the artery. Then apply pressure to sever the lifeline. Pick up your knife at www.godkisALU.com with the purchase of white paper black ink, The Chains of Bondage, and position yourself in a assimilated world as an entity controlled, not an individual owned. I'm God Kasalu, and you've just had a conversation with God.